Ahmad's promise to Man United fans, he says we will do better. The dressing room vibes are up, sir. Yeah, they're on an upward trajectory. They are positive. It's not like last year where he admitted we were just going to games thinking we'd already lost, which sounds damning. It sounds crazy when you think about it, but when you look at our performances last season, you could pretty much see that we were defeated before the game even started. And he says that they're on a better trajectory now. They're making progress. They feel confident, and there's a good feeling amongst the team. Now, listen, people can listen to that and clown it and troll it and say, oh, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You're still crap, Amrim, this and blah, blah, blah. But we need these guys to be locked in. We need these guys to have confidence. And anytime, really, if I'm being hypercritical, anytime they have showed a little bit of confidence, they do play better. They do score goals. They do win some football matches. So long may that confidence continue. I'm not going to clown it. I want to see it. I want to see it on a consistent basis. And games like tonight against West Ham United at home, it's good saying it now. We'll do better, exactly. But we need to see it at home, at Old Trafford tonight, 75,000. Be confident, do better, show that progress on the pitch tonight, and no hiccups against West Ham. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new people. Big up to yourself. Welcome back to United View, man. Little roll call, see who's in there. Evan says, I feel good about tomorrow. Old Man Flex says, Mac. I know, Old Man Flex. Higher Flex says, Javid. YouTuber LOL says, hope you had a good birthday yesterday, Uncle Fleck. I did, man. I felt the love yesterday. It was good. Hope you have had a great birthday, says Evan. Big up to you. And my Mr. Chris B was like, the one time I'm watching live, because he probably thought we were so late that we're not gonna, you know what I mean? We're not gonna be, he's not gonna be there. We're not gonna be on. But I'm here, bro. I'm here and I'm feeling good. I'm 38 years old. And some would say that, I feel optimized. Today's video is sponsored by our friends at Oxford Natural and their all-new natural supplement, Optimum Day and Night. Thousands across the UK, USA and beyond are smashing their health goals with Oxford Natural. Optimum Day gives you steady energy, curbs your cravings and keeps your metabolism firing all day. Optimum Night helps you relax, get restorative sleep, recover and keep burning fat while you rest. It's not a magic pill, but it will help you reach your health goals. Check out some of the incredible results. Two of our own, OWEN, lost over 100 pounds in 10 months, and KG dropped 30 pounds in 4 months. In 8 months, football legend Michael Owen lost 35 pounds, and Robbie from AFTV, Don Robbie, lost over 80 pounds. And in 6 months, Anita, an award-winning immigration lawyer, lost 44 pounds, and Linda, a law firm executive, lost over 50 pounds. No gimmicks, no needles, just results. Oxford Natural, let's get to work. Yes, just like that, just like that. Max says, with big age comes big segues. That's what it is. Someone just said in the chat there as well, I swear we're playing tomorrow. Absolutely, we're playing tomorrow. Got the wrong day. So that social clip's going to have to change. I'll let Owen know not to clip that and put that out as a social clip because we play tomorrow. So forget everything I said in the first minute or so of the video. But scan the QR code right there to the left of me. See it there? Scan that to get up to 70% off. Use code UV for your Optimum products. You got your Optimum Day. See it there? Another day. Yeah, your Optimum Day. Help you with those sugar cravings. Help them with your fat burning going through the day. And you got your Optimum Night here that's going to ensure you get that good deep REMS sleep, which is massively important for weight loss. If you don't want to scan that QR code, you can click the link in the video description below. It'll take you straight to the landing page. Use the code UV, save up to 70% off your first order of your Oxford Natural products and your Optimum products. So big up to you guys and big up to Oxford Natural and the guys at GOWEN Life. I did get the day wrong, so we are playing tomorrow, but my point remains, and Ahmad's been talking. In a, I wouldn't say a massive interview, but he had some good things to say. He had some things that got picked up that are actually quite negative as well. But I want to talk about the positives first before we get into some of the negative things or stuff from last year, really. Ahmad says that we are a different team now. The atmosphere in the dressing room is positive. It's much better than last season. We want to do better and we will do better. I almost take that as it's almost basically as a promise. We will do better. He says we're improving a lot as a team. Last season, we were going to the game thinking we had already lost. thinking we had already lost. This season is different. The mindset has changed, different energy. We think we can win every match. We're not satisfied with our current standing, but we are going to do better. Now, there's a couple of ways of looking at this now, and they're both valid. Do you know what I'm saying? So obviously the second bit there was Ahmad talking about, you know, last season we didn't think we could win the games and this, that, and the other. But let's just focus on the positives first. And we'll talk about last season at the end, because last season is last season, right? We want to talk about here and now. And here and now, he's saying that, you know, we're ready for every game. We actually believe we could win. Now, don't get me wrong. It's nothing to write home about. Man United player thinks that they can win. That's the minimum standard. But we have to remember, guys, our minimum standards have been in the bin, man. We haven't had any minimum standards for a while. So you have to rebuild them. And part of that rebuilding focus, that rebuilding phase, is for them players to start believing that they can win. It is that simple. Half of the shit that we see from the players, a lot of it is down to like their individual approach to games. How many times we said, look how slow they're playing, look how lethargic they look. And there's no quality in what they're doing. They're not taking care of the ball. They're not running hard enough. No one's pressing. There's no commitment. Like, those aren't necessarily Ruben things. They're individual things. They're player things. They're things whereby if 11 men don't cross the white line without their heads still left in the changing rooms, where they leave it all out on the pitch and they go, right, let's have these man today. We're going to win. We ain't leaving here with nothing. If you don't have that mentality, then forget the tactics, forget the principles, forget the training you've just done in the week leading up to the game. It goes out the window if you don't apply yourself. It goes out the window if you don't actually believe you can win. So I want to hear him say that. I want to hear him talk about the dressing room. He's saying it was completely different to last year. Now, obviously, we heard all the different types of things that were going on last year in the dressing room, how fractured the team was. And some of it, listen, I don't get into individuals. Like, I don't really buy into like, oh, Garnacho is a bad egg and he's bringing everyone down, or Rashford because he was training with everyone but didn't want to be there. It's so dead. It's his fault. Or, you know, Bruno kept moaning all the time. I don't know who the individuals are. I'm not in there, so I don't really pay too much attention to that. But what we do know is what the players told us. And the players told us at various points, especially I think back to last summer when we was on tour with and we did an interview with Luke Shaw with the press. Like, there was he was making a lot about how, I can't remember the exact words. James from the Muppeteers, if he's listening, actually won't be watching, it's too early. But Luke Shaw said something along the lines of like, oh, it's good in the dressing room now. We've changed it, and there's a real togetherness now, and basically alluding to the fact that the players that have gone, like, it has made a difference. Stragglers, that's it. There's no stragglers in there. Everyone's in the same direction and stuff like that. But so when he said that, even then, that's signifying to us that there's, you know, that no one's carrying anyone anymore. There's accountability in that dressing room. There's you know, there's people pulling their weight. You know, so we knew that straight from the summer. And Ahmad's basically extending on that now, you know, saying we are improving a lot as a team. Last season, we were going into every game thinking we had lost. That's not the case. Now, you can say maybe we can see a little bit of that because they're winning narrowly more games. Too early to say we turned the corner and all that. But results have picked up a little bit. We're not losing every week like we was last year. But you can also look at it and say, good, I want to see that. The only way was up anyway after last year. How could you not be that negative or that unconfident in what you were doing? Do you know what I'm saying? It's a big mentality shift. We see this year with some of the younger players that are struggling for form or struggling with the pressure. It still all exists, people. Do you know what I'm saying? So no more stragglers. Shout out Luke Shaw from the summer, and shout out Ahmad for basically saying that's not us anymore. We're not the same team. Because if we're going to turn this around with Amorim at the helm, we have to talk about the players as well. Amorim, 100%. I mean, we've had billions of conversations about Amorim, the system, negativity down to 10 men, still keep 3 centre-backs on the pitch. All of these things that we say Amorim's not good enough at. So he gets his fair share because he's the manager. But what did we always say when we were back into Manager FC before, when we were like, these players, no more player FC, don't let them get away with it. What on earth are they doing? We have to apply the same pressure. Do you know what I'm saying? When we lose matches, it ain't just all on Amorim. Just like when we win matches, it ain't all on Amorim. Do you know what I'm saying? When we win matches and the players play well and they run hard and there was a bit of individual brilliance, and like no one's saying it was an Amorim masterclass that Xerxes scored that goal. They're praising Xerxes. They're praising the passage of play. He took the ball down, took a great touch, and hit the ball in probably the only bit of the net that it would have went in. Great goal. Mason Mount, when he scores from the free kick, maybe you could talk a little bit about Carlos Fernandez and them guys working on set pieces, but Mason Mount's got to take the shot, keep it low, and put it in the bottom corner. It's not tactical brilliance from Amorim, is it? So sometimes when we win games, it ain't about necessarily, oh, the manager did everything this, and it was because everything was coached perfectly. Sometimes you win games, because the players did something really well. The performance was good from the players, not necessarily because of a tactical masterclass, but because their mentality was there, their intensity was there. It didn't allow the opposition to get out of their box. It didn't allow them to get out of their heart. They were on it. They were keeping the opposition honest. You know what I mean? And for me, that's what's important. That's what's important. Accountability for both. So Ahmad is basically talking about that accountability and the fact that it's different in there. Ahmad says that we will make like I said, we're making a lot of progress. We are no longer defeatist. It does show you though on the negative side, in football terms, it does show you where we were at last season, guys. I ain't gonna lie to you lot, man. It does show you where we was at. We were defeatist. You know what I mean? We thought we were going to lose before we even got out there. Now how mad that is. Now how low on confidence you have to be in a dressing room where, like, last year, you're basically admitting that, when you were pulling up to games, bro, apart from the Europa League, these men were going into the game thinking we ain't winning. Not good. I remember getting a message off a United player a few years ago. Probably how many? Probably about 3 years ago. Under Ralph. I remember getting a message off one of the guys. Got something in my mouth, so annoying. Off one of the guys, and he was saying like, yeah, it's tough in here right now, especially when some people have checked out. Still got it. And that was crazy because I was like, raw. There's people in there that actually have just you forget as a fan of what it's like when there's players in there that are literally on different sides of the coin or in different corners of the room. Like Luke Shaw says, stragglers. Do you know what I'm saying? There's a group in this side that are like, we're on it. We can turn this around. We can do this. And you've got another faction over there that says, this is dead. Can't wait to get out of here. Can't wait for this interim manager to leave. This is rubbish. I ain't trying. What's the point? Then you got another group over there that's probably like, I don't care. I'm leaving at the end of the season anyway. There's 15 more games. I'm just counting down the minutes, mate. Or I don't care. There's a group over there that might be like, I got a contract for the next couple of years, mate. I'll just wait to see what happens. Like, when you've got different factions in the dressing room, it's almost impossible. It's almost impossible to get any results. And that's not even just in football. That's like the leaders of any teams. Like, if you've been a manager at work, I've been a manager at work. I used to run a behavior management team in the school I used to work in. I was a manager of that unit, and if we weren't pulling in the right direction, or I could sense that there's some staff members that ain't really in it for the team, or can't be bothered to turn up to work, the kids are really challenging, it gets tiring, it's not this, it's not that, it's difficult. You have to find a way to get everybody on the same team sheet. You have to, because you're just going into work every day thinking, Right, them three over there, I know they've had enough. They can't wait to leave. My man over there, he's just happy to be here. Can't believe he got this job. This guy over there is like, he's on it. He's for the team along with her. They really want to do it. So that's good. And then it's up to you to try and find people or get people to be on the same hymn sheet, to raise morale, raise confidence, raise expectations. And some of it is, some people do need to leave. Now, obviously, I wasn't the head teacher. I couldn't sack people. But you can see that there's some people who need to come out of the team or move into other areas of the school where they're more passionate or work in a different unit where they're more suited. Do you know what I'm saying? Put all the ducks in order, as they say. You know what I mean? So no user GFA. I didn't sell them all. I wasn't able to. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's about realigning, you know. It isn't always about getting rid of everyone, but sometimes some people do need to get to different places. So I'm not surprised to see Ahmad say that, but it does bring you back to last year of where these players were at, how bad it was. Now I'm saying, you guys get your super chats in, get your members chats in, all your memberships. Gifted one membership. Big up to Mac. He's gifted one United View membership. Big love to you, my bro. Shout out to Harold. Harold says Barca looking at Nusa or Marcus Rashford. I'd love Nusa at Man United. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. In terms of Rashi's future at Barca. We need to talk about that. Terence, big up Terence. He says, last season was effing murder to watch. Thank the gods you believe in that. The last three were so much worse than us, else we would have risked it big. Thank God you believe in that the last three were so much worse than us. Oh, right. Or else we would have risked it big time. Yeah. As in the bottom three you're talking about. Yeah, 100%. 100%, bro. If last season, look, and you don't really want to spend too much time talking about last season because we're here now. It's in the past. You almost want to bury it. You almost want to bury it and say, you know, that there's no way that you can go back there. Put it in the past. It's gone. This drink's banging. No them electrolytes. It just tastes wicked. Put it in the sand and bury it forever. You know what I mean? Because you can't go back there. 15th. We're going to remember that when we was losing every single week. And we got to the last stages and was just like, you know what? This Europa League thing, let's do it. And we did all right, got to the final and then messed it up. So you don't want to remember it. But just because Ahmad brought it up, it just shows you how low those guys were. Terence says, rather than bury it, learn from it. 100%. You got to learn from it. I suppose you got to take the lessons from it. It's like a digestive system, innit? You eat what you eat. Your body strips off the bits that you can take from it, i.e., in this case, learn from it, and discards the rest when you go toilet. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need to do with last season. And that's where Terence is right in terms of take the things to learn from it about commitment, mindset, togetherness, and say we can't ever end up from that. Anne-Marie's getting a lot of, what does that mean? What is it? Why is everyone laughing at this? What is this? Anne-Marie's getting a lot of this shit for last season. Anne-Marie, is that what you lot call it, Anne-Marie? Even though he was only there for half of it. We were 13th before he even took over. And we said, let him adapt. Let him adapt, adjust, and give him the season to get. Okay, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. Anne-Marie's nasty work, though. Anne-Marie's nasty work. But Dan says, why can't you just treat this season as a standalone season? We're no worse than it teams at the top three. But last season is a stick to beat him. And you know what? That bit is a good point in terms of what Scott said on the red carpet as well, to echo what he said. There is this thing where you go, last season is last season. You also have to judge this season. And this season, we are one of a few, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like we're with them. We're with the teams that are doing all right, doing okay. So I mean, done okay. That's where we're at. Where we're in the obviously teams played yesterday, so some are on 14, but we're 7th on 21 points. That's 3 points off third. So Chelsea are having an amazing season. Last time we checked, they maybe had the chance to go in the title race if they beat Arsenal because of the points they were on. Aston Villa have got their shit together. They've been resurgent. Man City are in the title race. You know what I'm saying? We're 7 points off Man City. Obviously, we play tonight. That could go down to 4. So, look, I'm not saying that we're in the title race, by the way. I'm saying we're in the area of the division where we want to be. You know, for all of Liverpool's failings, losing all them games, we're on the same points as them. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? They probably finish higher than us. Tomorrow, sorry, when we play tomorrow, not tonight. I keep saying it's tonight. Why do I think this game's tonight? Someone make sure I don't go travel up there tonight, you know, thinking it's tonight. You know what I mean? Because it's not. Yeah, we are where we are. So Dan's got a point. Dan's got a point because we do have to judge things on this season now. Last season's gone. All right. The half a season that Amram had was total shit. It was total shit. It's gone now. He's got to prove it this season. And so far, we're there or thereabouts. After tonight's games, you know, Sunderland got to go to Liverpool. So one of them's losing. So we'll gain points on that. Should we get our win tomorrow? Aston Villa. Who are they playing? Oh, they're playing Brighton. So there you go. They're the two teams that are above us. 4th and 5th are playing against each other. So points will drop there. Chelsea go to Leeds. They should win. But, you know, hopefully we keep the same amount of points behind Chelsea, keep them in touch and distance. Newcastle and Spurs drew last night, which, you know, if you're being honest about teams that are going to get it together and maybe go on a little European run, we can call Spurs shit and stuff like that. But you want to move legit points away from them. Right now, we're only, 3 points ahead of them? 2 points ahead of them. So we want to, you know, make that more. You know what I mean? Like we got a chance to go 3 more points ahead of them, make it 5. So put some daylight between us and the rest. So on Dan's point, we are doing all right. After this game week, if we take care of business against West Ham, which we should, obviously, and the worst thing is, even if we don't take care of business against West Ham, we're not going to be out of challenging for Europe. Now, it won't be great because if Villa win, you know, they'll be on like 27 points and we'll still be on 21. So again, a gap starts to pick up, but you know, it's still early. It's still early. Still early, you know? Yeah, look, no pressure on Hal. A draw in the Newcastle Spurs game was a good result for us. Definitely was. If we can't win the next 2, what's the point? Both teams are dead. And that's just it, Like you do have to look at winning the next 2 games. Absolutely. Nothing short of 6 points, bro. Have to be getting 6 points in the next games. Because that Wolves one, I don't want to look too far ahead. Because if you don't get the result against West Ham and then your confidence is down, all of a sudden you start getting scared against Wolves and doing stupidness. But that Wolves one, bro, they play Nottingham Forest tonight, I think. Hopefully they lose and just keep being shit. I don't see no resurgence. Just want to get our 3 points off them and get out. But it can be a bit of a banana skin there. They're bottom of the league as it stands. 2 points all season, not 1 win. Ain't won a game all year. And the story is just like us to go there and get Rob Edwards going. And we have to make sure that doesn't happen. But bring it back a little bit. It's all about tomorrow night. It's all about tomorrow night. We've got to be on point. Do you know what I'm saying? We have to be on point. Smash a like on the video, people. Let's get the likes up. Big up to you. Exactly. Wolves beat us home and away last season, bro. And they were in a relegation. What, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. They were in a relegation battle last year. Beat us home and away. What is it? Beat us Boxing Day, and Cunha scored from a corner. Do you know what I mean? Awful. And we just knew we were going to lose. We just saw the way the game went. We knew we was going to lose. And the second one was that a Sarabia free kick. And Cunha won the free kick and they put it in the top bins. We couldn't score. Lost 1-0. West Ham as well. Yeah, beat us home and away. The infamous flipping Diogo Dalot missed the open goal. Ten Hag sacked. Should have been about 3-0 up in the first half. We lost the game. Shit. Then they came to Old Trafford. Beat us there as well 2-0, didn't they? That was in the run into the what do you call it, Europa League. So and we were done by them. So we owe these two. It's got to be taking points off these man, because these man this year are absolutely struggling. West Ham and Wolves, got to be 6 points. Got to be, got to be. Let's move on. Let's move on to Rashford. Permanent Barca deal, unlikely, which is interesting. You know. Oh, that's the wrong one. I don't need that one. Let me go back a little bit and get the right thing. You see it there? Because this has actually come from the Athletic as well, you know. And it's Barcelona's writer at the Athletic, Paul Ballas. And he said the most probable scenario is that Marcus Rashford will not sign for Barcelona permanently after his loan spell. It's an interesting one, you know. That's an interesting one. I thought he would have been nailed on to go there, to be honest with you. He's having a good season. He's playing well. But it's interesting to hear why. I did see a little bit about, you know, them with the money situation. You know, some of the Barca accounts, I've seen them talking about Rashi, sort of saying, saw one here, Barca Universal. They said, despite not getting the same playing time recently, Marcus Rashford is working his ass off every time he comes on the pitch. So they're happy with the work rate he's putting on. So he's obviously not getting in the starting team at the moment. Last time I checked, he's having a good season. Obviously, he was getting in because of injuries to key players. There was injuries to Lewandowski, injuries most notably to Rafinha. So he's getting a lot of games. How many starts has he made? He's played 19, scored 6, assisted 9, which is pretty good. It's pretty steady. How many games has he started in the league? Started 9. 9 out of those 19. So he's been on the bench for 10. Substituted in 5. Let me see that. Yeah, out of all of them. It must be a mixed bag, isn't it? It must be a mixed bag. I would have thought that he would have been nailed on to go. Steady, 15 GA in 19 starts is very good. Yeah, there you go. Very good then. I show, like you said, add them up together. I don't always do the goals, the GA for all that, but like you said, the numbers there, it is better than steady. It is very good. And like you say, it's 19 starts. So no, it's not even 19 starts. It's not 19 starts. It's 19 appearances. It's 19 games. He's only got in the league. He's only got 9 starts in the league. 4 starts in the Champions League. And that's it. So it's even better. So he's doing well. He's doing really well there. So I'm surprised that they wouldn't just definitely take him. I'm surprised that the most likely outcome is that he comes back to United. Now, when I say come back, I use that term loosely. Come back because the loan's finished. Obviously, you have to look for a new move. What would life look like for Barcelona, for Rashford, if it's not at Barcelona? That's the question you got to ask. That's the question you got to ask. Like, I think it's very fair to say that he's never coming back to our team. So if Barca can't afford to sign him, what does Marcus Rashford do? Can't see him going to Saudi. He definitely wants to be in the England team. He's going to go to the World Cup for sure. Why? Where would he go? It ain't going to be Man United. PSG. I like that one, Lil Yo-Yo. PSG. Cover out Scaler on the left, though. Sometimes Barca, sometimes Doué. Just, I don't know. I can't see. I don't know. Club-wise, yes, but can't see it. Obviously, there's no way back here. Spurs, no chance Rashford goes to Spurs. Obviously, no chance he goes City or Liverpool. Arsenal, you never know. Things can happen. End of the season, Trossard goes maybe. Rashford to replace him. Extra depth. Bayern, Luis Diaz killing it. Newcastle will be a good move for him. They got Anthony Gordon and Harvey Barnes who play out there. Juve, Napoli, etc. You see what I'm saying? It's very difficult to work out where he would go if it's not Barca. Obviously, I don't think it'd be Real Madrid either. Having just come from Barca, couldn't see that. So I don't know. Yeah, Bayern aren't going to buy Jackson, I suppose. Maybe it's just extra squad depth. Battle it out with Luis Diaz on the left at Bayern. Maybe something like that. But He's obviously not coming back to Man United. And you would have thought that, 40 million. Or is this just Barca just pleading poverty? Do you know what I mean? Is this just Barca just pleading poverty, saying, listen, we ain't got bread like that? I don't necessarily think it is. We know how tight it gets with money at Barca. So Liverpool need a left wing. Get out of here. Get out of here, show. If Rashford went to Liverpool, I'd disown him. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, proper pagan vibes. I like Rashi. I do. I know it's gone shit for him and all that, but I'm really happy he's happy now and he's going to play. If he goes to Liverpool, no chance. No chance, mate. I'd do so much respect for him. But he won't. I don't think he'd do it. And Liverpool wouldn't want him. Napoli, maybe, yeah. Maybe Napoli. I mean, I'm going to just ask the question. Football's a funny old game. There's obviously... Actually, that's not a question. Is there any chance that Rashford can come back? Are we just all in agreement that answer's no? Let me just see what you lot are saying. Like, obviously, the answer is no, right? Like, can't come back. I'm going to have a few sips of my tea while you lot answer that. If Amram is sacked, fair play, different proposition. But he's not going to be. Shannon Sharp meme. Not on his wages. Not with Amarim. Manny says no. King Walker says yeah. Too much ASMR, but sorry, I'm drinking my tea. Sorry, I'm gonna mute it when I drink my tea. Let me do that now. Double no. I think he can come back if Amarim is gone. No. Yes. Flipping heck, why is it so mixed? Why is this so mixed? Guys, do you not think even that it's actually about Amarim? Do you not think it's about Amarim? Obviously, there's a big part of it because Amarim came in and said you're not playing anymore and exiled him. But don't you think there's a part of Rashford also that's like I need to get out of there and kind of not go back as well? Like, it's not even just Amarim. Like, even if we change manager tomorrow, Rashi would still be like, just need a new change of scenery. I just can't be there. Amarim didn't rate him from the jump. Yes, says Sandy. It's getting kind of confusing now because some people are saying yes to something else I said, and some people are saying no. No, we'll never forgive this guy for not running and trying for my club, says Saliso. Rashford will never play for United again, even with Ruben gone. He will not play for United again. Barada has said he's done at United. When did Barada say Marcus Rashford himself is done? But I do agree with what you're saying, though. I don't think he'll ever play for Man United again, regardless of Ruben Amorim. I don't think... Obviously, if Ruben Amorim's here, then that's a big fat no. But even if we got to the end of the season and Amorim left, which I also don't think that will happen either. But like, hypothetically, if it did, bro, he ain't coming back here. He ain't coming back here. Shout out Joe. Joe says, bun Rashford now. He's not on it. He's not in it. Harold says, I'll take him in a heartbeat. Yes, yes, yes. Who would take Rashford? Just do this, yes or no. Would you take Rashford back? Like, I'm just saying, as a player, forget like under this manager, no. Like, just Rashford the player. Rashford the player. Nah, it's pretty much no. Manor says do a poll, but I don't think there's any need. No, nah, no. One person said I'll take him back. Jeremy, I'll take him back right now. Yes. Everyone else, no. Actually, Yellad said, yeah, Rashford shits on Cunha. Harold said yes. Dan says yes. Even if he's underperformed, you've still got Cunha. It's mainly no, though. I think that's a very overwhelming no. No, he wouldn't take Rashford back. He wouldn't take Rashford back. Oh, I get it. I wouldn't take Rashford back. And I wouldn't take him back, not actually because I just think he's dead. I don't think Rashford's dead. I think Rashford's a good player. But I think his heart's got to be in it. His head's got to be in it. His emotions got to be in it. His confidence got to be up. He's got to be somewhere he wants to be. And I don't believe that's Man United. On top of that, from our perspective, don't go back. He's been here, you know what I mean, like 10 years. And we've seen the good, the bad, the ugly. And we just got to move on. There needs to be a new look Man United. There needs to be a new team evolving. So based on all of them, I think it's best for both parties that it remains that way. We can't entertain bringing him back, in my opinion. I get love stories. I get romanticizing and making things have the fairy tale ending. Oh, look at that time he took a break from the relationship and came back and they lived happily ever after, married. Like, it ain't happening, bro. Just get that out of our heads. Do you know what I'm saying? It ain't happening. Hypothetical, you know what I mean? We can talk about it like what we just did, but let's be real. It ain't going on. It's not happening. So yeah, let's move on from that one. Rashford, what happens at the end? What happens at the end of the season? I think he obviously goes somewhere else. I do like that PSG shout just for numbers, but Enrique, does he like the type of player Rashford is? The Napoli shout, I think, you know, it's easy to make that link. And I don't know. I always feel like Arsenal just, I don't know, if there was an opportunity. You don't know what Arsenal look like then. They could be Premier League champions by then and start buying up the place. Do you know what I mean? They might have even won the Champions League. Who knows? Who knows? But what I would say is that you can't rule things out, but you just definitely can't see. You never know in football. You never know. You never know. Luke Shaw has reached 300 appearances for Man United. 300. He comes in good form and good health, says Laurie Whitwell. On 1,110 minutes in the Premier League this season, after only 348 in the season of last year. A spell in Doha in March helped. Medics examine muscles in his right leg, broken in 2015, to strengthen the same as the left. This is interesting stuff. Luke Shaw's been rebuilding himself this year. He has. Let me log into that. Luke Shaw's been rebuilding himself this year, and it has gone under the radar. Now, listen, in its whole, when we talk about Luke Shaw, you've got to break things down, okay? Because obviously you get the instant, how is he still here? Shocking. And, you know, look, 300 games in 10 years says everything. Shocking, says Mark Roberts. 100%. Agreed. It should be 900 appearances. Not 900, that's a bit extra in 10 years, but it should be double. It should be double, innit? It should be about 600 appearances. Because, you know, he's had so many injuries that he's probably missed half the time, okay? There you go. Look, Bruno's played 300 in about 5 years less. So that just shows you, because Bruno's pretty much played everything. That's crazy. That is crazy. But you lot are wicked. You lot are wicked, because I'm trying to do the Luke Shaw boost up to give him his props, okay? We'll talk about the negatives in a minute. Jesus, you lot, hold on. Hold on. Yeah, shout out Heartless Crew. Hold on. Just wait there a second. He's reached 300 appearances, which is not something to shout about because it should have been double, okay? I hear that. However, let's just focus on the rebuilding of himself this season. Andy Mitten's done an interview with him, and it's very interesting to see what's happened and some of the accountability. So here we go. Like, I'm just going to read out some bits. Andy Mitten says, in 35 years of journalism, I've never seen a United player so downbeat. Shaw's brutal honesty in a live TV interview was admirable, but some fans felt they heard enough excuses. And now I haven't read all of it, but I know that must be off of what he said after what happened in Bilbao. And it was, there you go. There was a pause, shaking head. Luke, how you feeling? Devastated. So that was what he said to him then. But this is interesting. He goes on to say, Shaw's 30. He's only 30, fucking hell. Which is like, just because he's been around so long. Is Man United's longest serving player by a distance, having joined in 2014. His match against Palace was his 300th, an average of 27 games per season. Bruno Fernandes has played 303 in less than half the time, which is crazy. With Shaw's injuries rather than talent are an issue. I wouldn't wish the injuries I've had on anybody. Shaw told me as long ago as 2015 during preseason in Seattle. That came after a first season at United when he only managed 20 games. He said, I only had myself to blame, he explained. That's interesting. I only had myself to blame. I didn't arrive at the club in the correct shape and things didn't go to plan. The manager, Van Gaal, told me his feelings and I totally accepted that. At a massive club like Man United, you must be at your best. But I learned, and this season I feel much fitter, much sharper, and I have the experience of a year at Man United behind me. A month later, this is obviously back in 2015. A month later, he broke his leg at PSV in the worst injury of his career. That set an unfortunate template. So basically, he was admitting that he didn't even arrive to us at the right, you know what I mean, in the right way. But this is interesting. A trip to Qatar in March, organised in consultation with United Health Matters. Shaw spent 2 weeks at the Aspire facilities in Doha with chosen physios and a senior member of United staff. Medics undertook holistic work to assess a range of issues with particular attention paid to muscles in Shaw's right leg, which suffered the double fracture 10 years ago, to trace the cause of his issues and strengthen them to the same condition as his left leg. That forensic assessment, combined with the warm weather, contributed to Shaw being fully fit for pre-season and staying that way when competitive football began in August. United have a view that they want their money on the pitch. Shaw is on the pitch, but there's also a view that he's learning a new position and shouldn't be compared to the player he was. That bit's true. There was some favourable stats circulating on social media last week relating to his decline in output in terms of crosses and chances created, but it's not comparing like for like. Exactly. You can't compare Luke Shaw as the left back and then compare him to the left centre back now and be like, he's not putting in as much crosses, he's not creating as much chances. He doesn't, that's not his role anymore. Shaw is well rated by United, who organised a special presentation for him for his 300th game. But just over a year from now, he'll be able to talk to other clubs about leaving. His situation is exactly like his fellow defender, Harry Maguire's. United will decide if they want him to stay, most likely on a lower salary. If they don't, they can leave. United considers Shaw a top player who understands the game and is very difficult to beat in 1v1 situations. His positioning in his new role should improve as the team and new goalkeeper in Sonny Luman settles down, but he is a fullback dealing with more aerial balls. Shaw's height, widely reported around 5'10", counts against him. United staff have noted that at Arsenal, every member of the back four is well over 6 foot. Listen, Luke Shaw, when he's fit, I've always said it, when he's fit, he's fine. He's a good player. He's a good player. His reading of the game is good. Don't get me wrong, he can get twists up sometimes and have stinkers, but when he's fit and he's on it, he's strong. He is good in 1v1s. He's decent on the ball. He knows where to be. He's a dependable footballer. But in terms of how good he is. But when you're venturing into dependable of availability, 300 games in 10 years tells you all about it. So, look, long may it continue that he stays fit. I think that it's been a really good turnaround. I'm happy for him. Players that have been constantly injured, we get vexed and say, why are we still paying the money? Get rid. That's on the club. But the individual ain't his fault he's injured all the time, is it? They don't want his body to keep breaking down. Or sometimes it can be their own fault, actually, by not looking after themselves or pushing it too hard. But on the most part, him, Mason Mount, they don't want to be injured long term. That I do know. They're good guys. So I feel sorry for them in that respect. And I'm really happy for them that they're both fit now and getting a good run in the team. And Luke Shaw has been playing fine this year. I think he's gone under the radar, to be honest. I think he's just been, because he's just like a solid 6 out of 7, just under the radar, just defends well. But he's not as good as the ball on Leach, so he's not eye-catching. He just does the basics pretty well, Luke Shaw. Do you know what I mean? And he will be a good person to have around a training ground. That being said, like I said with Casemiro, like I said with Casemiro, like I said with Harry Maguire, like I said with like Dallo and all of that. Like, when are we going to be ruthless? And I don't think we should be giving Luke Shaw a new contract. I don't think it's something you invest into, even on lower wages. When you look at the other teams' defenders, who they buy these big, powerful, quick, strong guys, dependable guys. Luke Shaw at this stage of his career is not that. Now, what's difficult is we have given Luke Shaw many contract extensions. so no one's going to buy him. He's on big money and has always been on a solid contract, because Man United obviously really like him, but also believed that he would be a lot fitter than this, stupidly. But that was the situation. So no one's going to come in and buy Luke Shaw. So he's going to have to leave on a free. So we keep him around. So you got to work on keeping him fit. And I don't mind that. Let him run out his contract and then let him go. I don't mind that at all. You know, we're not going to be able to sell Luke Shaw. And we probably shouldn't. He does get the club. What's the point in selling him? We're not going to get much for him. And he's playing. So I don't mind keeping him until the contract expires. But again, giving Luke Shaw a 3-year deal on reduced wages when that contract goes to the end, what's the point? That's where we're not learning. You know, Newcastle. I was watching the Newcastle United game last night against Spurs. Malik Thiaw's good, man. And I thought that for a little while. He's good. How much did they get him for? And this is just an example. Malik Thiaw. How much was he? Malik Thiaw. Newcastle transfer. Right? How much was it? 35 million from AC Milan. Okay? 35 million. Now, I'm not saying, look, exactly. Arsenal got McGuire for 12 million, bro. 12 million. You know? And like Dan says there, he was 30 million and he was backup AC Milan centre-back. He wasn't getting a game. So there is value out there. And how old is Thiaw as well? How old is Malik Thiaw? How old is he? 24. Fucking hell. He's 24. Do you know what I'm saying? So I need us guys to really lock in, yeah? I'm being really serious about this. As much as we read these pieces, and I'm happy for Luke Shaw, I've just spoke about the positives of him. I really like him. I spoke about the positives of Casemiro. I like the turnaround. We've spoken about the positives of Harry Maguire and stuff. But let's not kid ourselves that that is the future, guys. We should not be spending, in my opinion, any money investing into new futures or extended futures with these guys. It's not a diss. It's not rude. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not those things. But the sentiment has to go, guys. There's guys out there you can buy that can be the future of this club. So I'm saying, when Arsenal are buying up all them centre-backs, you look at them now, from buying Gabriel to buying Saliba and putting them on all them loans. Then you look at Mosquera, looks amazing for 12 million. You look at Nkapie. How much did they pay for him? How much was Nkapie? I don't even know, but he looks all right. Calafiori can play centre-back. Timber plays centre-back for Netherlands, or right-back. How much did they get Timber for? That was when we swapped, in it. They wanted Martinez and we wanted Timber at one stage, innit? Timber was that about 40 million as well. Timber Arsenal transfer fee. 34 million, with the deal potentially rising to 38 million with add-ons or even higher. Come on, man. 34 million pounds, guys. So you're better off letting someone like Luke Shaw. Well, I just read it there. Someone says Timber was 50, but you know what I'm saying? Arsenal paid an initial fee of 34 million for Timber, with the total deal potentially rising to 38 million or higher through add-ons. Transfer fee for Timber was around 40 million euros, with potentials of bringing it up to 45 million. So they paid 35 million up front. Total fee increased about 4 million. Total deal. Let's just say 38 million. Let's just say just under 40 million. That's with all the add-ons included. You know, Timber was not number one priority signing. I get that. But what my point is, we got to move on from these guys that have been here ages. Luke Shaw's been here 10 years. What more do we need to see? And I actually like him. He's good when he plays, but you can't have him there. Go and invest in the Malik Thiaws. Go and invest in the Mosqueras. Go and get them guys. Like I say, Thiaw, good knowledge, Dan. I didn't know that. I didn't even know he wasn't even getting in at AC Milan. Man weren't even getting in. Do you know what I'm saying? So I just want us to be ruthless. I want us to be proper ruthless, and take out that sentiment. Thank you for your services. Thank you. Casemiro, thank you for remaining professional. And in a difficult time, you got your place back when you couldn't even get in the team over Toby Collier. But guess what, Casemiro? I kind of expect you to do that, or I shouldn't be shocked. You played for Real Madrid for a decade, winning 5 Champions Leagues and God knows however many Chelsea, other trophies. You've got an elite mindset. So the fact that Casemiro has turned it around somewhat to get back in our team when the bar's on the floor shouldn't be a measuring stick of, what a great guy to have around. Let's give him a new deal. No. Flex, you misread my comment. Timber was the first guy Ten Hag wanted. Oh, right. He was desperate to get him in. Yeah, he was. I do remember that. And then we couldn't get him, and we went for Martinez instead, etc. But and I remember Arsenal really wanted Martinez as well. What about McGuire? Says Chris. I'm tempted to say the same thing if I'm honest. McGuire is good though. What I would say McGuire is good at is that he is really good in the air, and he can bring a bit of a calming influence. Good on the ball as well. So if we keep one out of the old guard on maybe less wages, and I really feel, and I mean this with the greatest respect to Harry Maguire, but I feel like he's the one that would be like proper happy to be there, like take really low wages to still be a Man United player, to still say I play for this club. Look at maybe doing his badges after that contract might be a bit. How old is Harry Maguire? Don't want to do him a disservice and be rude, but what is he? 32? How old is Harry Maguire? Yeah, 32. Oh, bang on. So he's 32. Say you gave Harry Maguire a 3-year deal. When's he 34? In March. So say you signed him till he was 35 and said you see out that contract. Then after that, we look at your badges and your coaching and all of that. He might want to retire then, who knows? He actually just loves the club. So he could be one guy where you go, all right, cool. You keep him. Maybe we keep him to help the youngsters and that. But other than that, that should be it. Casemiro 1 year plus option deal would be good to cover and mentor our new DMs, especially if we get Europe. I just don't think it would, Leon. I'll be honest, that's the bit I disagree with. I think if you sign Elliot, and if we sign the players we're meant to sign, they just take it and run. You create new experience. Like, I just think he'll be too expensive. I think Casemiro will be too expensive for that. I think he'd be way too expensive to just have around. He's on 350 grand a week. Even giving him 180, 200. Like, what's he going to drop to? Do you know what I'm saying? To keep him around, to have that role to mentor people, I'd want to give him 50 grand a week. I'm not going to lie. And obviously, a man of his ilk can't give him that. So I just think if you've got someone like Elliot Anderson, he looks ready to me. You know what I mean? He don't need no help. I just think you just get the young, good players in. And I don't mean youths that... I'm not talking about 17-year-olds who need time. I'm talking about 23-year-olds, 25-year-olds, 22-year-olds who can play. Like, they're ready for it. Do you know what I mean? They're ready. They don't need their hands holding. Obviously, you got to give them a little bit of patience, but I think we're looking at it through the wrong lens. Why do we need to sign players? We shouldn't be getting any, like... Obviously, you need to buy potential, but we need to buy players that are ready now. Whether that's Baleba, Anderson, Wharton, Stiller, like they're ready to go in now. So I don't know. If there's a will, there's a way. I get it, and we'll look at it in the summer, depending on what you buy. And it's not our money in it. So Man United might find a way to get Elliot Anderson and Stiller and put Casemiro on reduced wages and keep Kobbie Mainoo. If they do that, oh mate, I'll be very happy. So I'm saying, yeah, Bruno Guimaraes, look how good he is. Tonali, look how good he is. They're all these other top midfielders across all the other teams. So, yeah, I'm just sick of us having a shit midfield, to be honest with you. I just went on a little bit of a rant there. I look at all the other teams. Look at Chelsea's midfielders. Even Andre Santos, wicked. See, Lavia can't keep fit. That's a different ball game. Liverpool, even though they're off form, we've got Gravenberch, McAllister, Szoboszlai's top. Good, wicked midfielders. Arsenal. Odegaard, Rice, Zubimendi, Eze can play in there. Wicked midfielders. So I'm just fed up. And then you look at Newcastle, Aston Villa. You know what I'm saying? McGinn's wicked. I'm not saying you go and buy someone like him, but he's top. Kamara, top. Tillerman's on a free, great business, still running it. Even Onana, good. You know what I mean? They got good central midfielders, bro. Really good ones. And like I said, Newcastle United, Joe Linton, convert, top. Lewis Miley, bro, he come through the youth ranks, but he's good. Very good. Bruno Guimaraes, Tonali, top. So until we look at our midfield and go, like say Wharton top, Belabor top, Anderson top, Stiller top, João Gomez, whoever, I don't know who they're going to be. McGinn is wicked. Nah, McGinn is wicked. McGinn's a very good player, man. He's underrated. Guys, if you watch ball, John McGinn is an underrated player. Shout out Quaker, he came up with this, and I mean this with greatest respect. You know that pretty player tax? Because he looks a certain way, John McGinn. Runs a bit thing, little bit Quasimodo, all of that. Just looks a bit off the eye. You just mistake how effective he is, bro. Enough man can't get the ball off him. He's at it all game, bro. All game. I'd have him in a heartbeat, bro. Not saying go and invest into him, but if he played for us, I'll be happy. Sure stat. He is the 5th longest current serving player at a Premier League club behind Coleman. Yeah, Coleman's still going. Lewis Dunk, Solly March at Brighton, and Adam Smith as well. So he's at Bournemouth, isn't it? 11 years. Crazy. Crazy. Yeah, pretty player tax is crazy. But it's true, though. There's some man who just, they kind of look the part and all of this stuff. If certain man looks a certain way, bro, they'll get ratings, bro. Anyone who watch ball, bro, you can't. McGinn's good. No, I'd be vexed if John McGinn played for us as G-man. Fair enough, but I wouldn't be vexed to have him. He's a leader, bro. He's their captain, you know. He's their captain, bro. He's a good player. He's a good player, bro. Good player. But you get my drift. Anyway, guys, big up yourself, man. It's been a great show. Flexing KG show later on tonight at 7 p.m. I'm going to go pre-record that now with KG. He's probably waiting for me. And then match day tomorrow. I'll be at the game. Marcel will be at the game. Bradley will be at the game. And others as well. So I'll see you then, man. Thanks for locking in this morning. Smash the like on the way out. I'm out of here, guys. Peace.